The following is a presentation of SC State Athletics.
You are watching the Buddy Pough Show, featuring highlights of the South Carolina State Bulldogs. Our sponsors are Prisma Health, the South Carolina Education Lottery, the County of Orangeburg, working hard for you. Farm Bureau Insurance. Get a quote at farmbureaupromise.com. Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax with Founders. And by the Department of Health and Environmental Control. Healthy people living in healthy communities. And now, here's our host, the voice of the South Carolina State Bulldogs, Ernest Robinson.
The South Carolina State Bulldogs on the road again this week in Dover, Delaware to take on the Del State Hornets in a pivotal Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference matchup. The Bulldogs and Hornets played twice in the spring. The Bulldogs won the first one 17-9 in Orangeburg and then won the second one here in Dover, Delaware in overtime 31-28. And South Carolina State head football coach Buddy Pough is expecting nothing less than another close and tough football game. Coach Pough, Delaware State, South Carolina State, if these two teams don't know each other by now, will they ever?
I guess not. I mean, this one of them kind of deals where we've had enough of each other. So we're going to try to see if we can go out and knock each other out today, I guess.
You start talking about Delaware State coach. They run it well. They throw it well. What do you anticipate them doing here this afternoon?
Well, I think they'll still try to continue to run the ball, but I think they feel like they got a little bit of a matchup advantage. They're wide receivers against our DBs. So they've been throwing the ball deep on some and then trying to run the football, with some hard doggone run style stuff. So between the run stuff and the play action pass stuff, they think they can find a way to get by the Bulldogs today.
When you start talking about your offense against their defense, what is it you've been able to do that you've been able to pull out 2 of the 3 games so far this year?
Well, we've been fortunate in the fact that we've come up with a little different plan each time. The first plan was a Corey Fields plan, and we mostly handed the ball and threw the ball. The next time was a Tyrese Nick plan, and we ran a lot of quarterback run and a lot of option stuff that kind of way. Well, we're back to Corey Fields now because Tyrese is not here. We've got to throw the football a good bit, and hopefully what will happen is we'll be able to throw the football down the field in a way where we can make them back off of it. That gives us a chance to run the football too. But we don't have the option attack with Corey, so we'll see what we get, when he throws the football down the field.
This is the first MEAC game for them, so we can only, based on what we've seen them against non-MEAC opponents, they've been able to dominate time of possession in every game they've had so far. How do you keep the football away from them?
Well, the first thing we got to do is we got to convert third downs ourselves. We got to keep the football more ourselves. But more than anything else, we got to do a good job of getting them off the field, our defense, when they're on the field. We got to keep them from continuously just driving the ball, third and ones, getting the first down, that kind of way. So if we can get away, if we can get them to have to turn the football back over to us, whether by punt or by otherwise, then we got a good chance to win the football game today.
All the games have been close in the 2 we've had before. Special teams always plays a part. You're able to pull that out. That's how you won the game, the double overtime game. How important and what role is that going to play in the game today?
Well, they're big, Ernest, and we need to have some sort of a break in the special teams game. But now they got a flake punt on us early in the game last time, and then they came back and missed a field goal, a little short field goal in regulation that would have won the game for us. So it's been kind of a give and take in the special teams game. We feel very comfortable in the fact that we've got pretty much an even chance to be good that way. So we just need to make sure that we don't give them any breaks that way.
What's going to be the difference in getting a win here today?
Stopping their run attack and making them throw the football, and then at the same time us converting our third downs and being a higher level third down efficiency team.
All right, Coach. Best of luck this afternoon.
Thank you very much, Ernest.
And we are underway. He approaches. Low kick on the ground. Moody will field it at about the 10-yard line, right up the middle at the 15, at the 20. Cuts back left, now goes right, and he's going to be wrapped up after he crossed the 25-yard line up to about the 27-yard line. Back to pass as Corey Fields throws it out in the flat. It's caught on the reception to Carl Holmes for South Carolina State. Shotgun snap. Corey back to pass, looking right, looking long, throwing long. Got a man out there. It's too long. It was intended for Richard Bailey. He was out there. Bailey kind of slowed up a little bit, Bill. Single setback under center is Lewis. Gives it to Kowali on the end around. Kowali's got some room. And Kowali gets up the field to the 39-yard line. Shotgun snap. Lewis back to pass, looking left. Lewis throwing it out in the flat. It is caught. Nice reception up at the 48-yard line. Pistol formation. They give it to Wilkinson over the left side. Wilkinson's got a lane at the 40. At the 35-30. Wilkinson at the 25-20. Fumbles the football. Football goes down, and it goes out of bounds. Matt Dirks, the co-captain, was signaled for holding. Shotgun snap to Corey, gives it to Jacory right up the middle. Jacory across the 20-yard line, spins it to 25, up to the 26. Pick up about 10 on the play. Dyson, this one end over end, not quite as far, but right at about the 23-yard line is Peeler at the 30. Peeler at the 35. Peeler makes a man miss. Peeler makes another man miss. Penalty marker goes down. He's tackled at about the 49-yard line of South Carolina State, but it's more than likely going to come back. The penalty was thrown right where he broke free at the 34. Lone setback is Wilkerson. Play action fake, back to pass. He is wrapped up, going to be slung down. Football is loose. Bulldogs have it at the 12-yard line. Jablonski Green.
All over him.
Jablonski Green and Shaheem Halterwanger. They get it down. Gavin's toe is in it. It is up, and it is good. So Gavin Zimmerman converts from 24 yards out. The Bulldogs get on the board first with 7:23 to go here in the first quarter. Quan Colley back deep for Delaware State. Gavin, line drive kick, and this is not going to be Colley. This is going to be 34 over there for the Delaware State Hornets. And he breaks free at the 30-yard line. Penalty marker down. Gavin tried to trip him. I'm surprised they didn't throw a flag on Gavin. And the runner trying to bring it back was number 34. That was Kamari. I have it as Kamari Jackson. I don't think that's Kamari Jackson. But the penalty marker is going to bring it all the way back from the 27. Lewis pitches it back to Wilkerson. The football's on the turf. It is nearly recovered by South Carolina State, but Delaware State recovers it. An errant pitch between Lewis and Wilkinson. The loss is all the way back to the 16-yard line. Back to pass. Lewis looking right, throwing right. Got a man out there. Severe Kelly looked like he was a receiver. Intercepted at the 30. At the 35, Severe at the 40. At the 45, Severe. Got some room at the 50. Cuts back at the 45. Severe still on his feet at the 40. Down to the 37-yard line. Severe Kelly. They snap it. They give it to Jacory. Jacory ain't nowhere close. Nowhere close. Colley goes in motion. Now they give it to Colley on the end around. Wrapped up Patrick Godbolt. Slings him down 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Wilkinson's to his left. He rolls that way. In trouble. Goes back to his right. He's got a lot of room out there. Got to have an open field tackle, and we get it. Making that open field tackle was Jacoby Durant. 2nd down and 10. Corey, shotgun snap. Back to pass. Corey looking long. Looking real long. Got Shaq out there. Shaq pulls it down at the 8-yard line. What a play. Shaquan Davis. Caleb Brown the snap. Good snap. They get it down. Gavin's toe is in it. And boy, Gavin hit that one. It is up and it is good. So Gavin Zimmerman 2 for 2. 8:55 to go here in the first half. Our score, South Carolina State, 2 field goals. 2 3-run homers. It's just 6 after all of that. Nothing for Delaware State. Colley comes in motion and gives it to Colley on the end around. Colley needs to break him in. He's cut down. What a play. My goodness. Jalen Barr took his legs out. He lost 4 on the play. Cole gets off a punt. It's not bad. It's away from Moody, and Moody's going to let it hit down, and Moody picks it up at about the 17. Moody at the 20, at the 25. Moody at the 30. Gets outside at the 35. Moody at the 40. Moody did really well. Got it back up to about the 44-yard line. Shotgun snap Corey. Back to pass. Corey looking long. Corey throwing him in. Got Shaq out there again. Shaq pulls it down again. Down to the 17-yard line. Shaquan Davis. Shotgun snap. They give it to Jacory again. Jacory puts his head down into the end zone. Touchdown, South Carolina State from 4 yards out. So with 4:37 to go here in the first half, the Bulldogs extend their lead. 13 for South Carolina State. Nothing for Delaware State. Shotgun snap. They give it to Wilkinson over the left side. Wilkinson got a lane up the middle. Goes right by Chad Gilchrist. Wrapped up. Finally brought down to the 32-yard line. Patrick Godbolt, the defensive end, makes the tackle way down to the 31-yard line. Shotgun formation. Wilkinson to the left of Lewis. Give it to Wilkinson right up the middle. Wilkinson pushes forward. That Delaware State offensive line really pushing forward. Wilkinson still going forward, Bill. Down to the 18-yard line. Shotgun formation for Jared Lewis. Wilkinson in the backfield with him. Looking left. Lewis throws it out there. Get him in out there. It is caught. Colley right at about the 10-yard line. Snaps good. And it hits the upright. It's no good.
My goodness.
Patrick Godbolt almost blocked it. He dived in as South Carolina State leads Delaware State at the half. 13 for the Bulldogs, nothing for the Hornets.
Coach, first half, we struggled first time with football. We kicked field goals, which we knew that's not going to get it done against Delaware State.
It's not. We got to figure out a way to get our offense to going in a way where we can get touchdowns instead of field goals. But, You know, you get a chance to do this with a win, which is really, you know, a lot better than getting it done with a loss.
You know, we talk about our defense on Saturday. I don't think they played well against Morgan State, but I think they topped Morgan State here against Delaware State.
Well, the difference in this game is they played so much smarter today. They didn't have any penalties. We had 3 penalties for like 10 yards for the entire game. So it was a great effort by our defense, and I got to congratulate Coach Jonathan Saxon and the whole staff over there on the defensive side of the ball. Those guys did a magnificent job today.
You know, you don't want to get into mentioning names because you're sure you're going to leave somebody
I guarantee you.
But Jablonski Green,
Yes.
Octavian Mentor,
Yes.
you know, they're just a tremendous
Just
push
young
up front.
guys. The Kobe Durant, all those guys back in the secondary. You always get BJ and Chad. Those guys play good. I was really proud. Jameer Benjamin came in when Zafir Kelly got hurt and played real good for us. So we had a lot of guys that played good. You know, I'm sorry that I don't get everybody, but at the same time, those guys over there on defense played their butts off.
You got another turnover. Zafir Kelly playing center field,
Yep.
looking at the quarterback, knew where the football was, made a play on the ball, and that took a possession away from them.
It did, and he got banged up a little bit toward the end and hurt his ankle a little bit. I'm hoping he'll be back next week.
You started talking about throwing the football, Coach. Corey Fields was hot or cold. He was hot enough today that he hit a couple big balls.
He hit Shaq for about 100 and some odd yards, which was good. The problem was we weren't consistent enough to keep drives going. We couldn't make a third down. We didn't actually convert a third down until late in the fourth quarter. But it was a good thing that we did because it allowed us to keep the football for the remainder of the game that way. So that made all the difference in the world.
The first half, Shaq Davis had 114 yards, 6 receptions, and they really had no answer because it seems as though he just had the speed and Corey just threw it past him.
Well, they wanted to try to take away the run so much until they were crowding the line of scrimmage, and that's why he was able to make those plays. Once they got back off of him a little bit, they still had a pretty good effort of stopping the run, but we at least were able to get them to back off a little bit. Yeah.
That was the way the first half ended on Saturday. Bulldogs clinging to a 6-0 lead. We'll take a time out here on the Buddy Pough Show and come back with more right after these messages. Coach, and we had a couple guys get banged up and come out of this one. Luckily, we had people to come in and play well, but the injury report is something we don't ever like.
Well, it's not very long, though. Dr. Plymouth and his crew got in here and had to fix Shaheem Halterwanger. Sometime after the game, I think they had to do some stitches or something around his face, and then Zafir Kelly had a little bit of an ankle deal. He didn't play the second half. He tried to get back out there and go, couldn't, but I'm hoping that he'll be back next week.
And, of course, past week, you had Kendrell Flowers, you're down to running back.
Yeah, we got a whole list of guys back in the background who've gotten hurt in the past, and we've just had to move on to the next guy. But we did lose Kendrell Flowers last week and a couple other guys, but we're starting to get some guys back now. Hopefully we'll be full speed for Central in another week.
All right, that is your Pough Mental Health injury report for the Delaware State game. We'll take another time out here on the Buddy Pough Show. We'll come back with more right after these messages.
Gavin approaches. It's a high, deep kick. It's going to be Qualley at about the 7-yard line on the right side. He's at the 15, cuts back at the 20, wrapped up, brought down at about the 27-yard line. Shotgun snap. Lewis back to pass. Lewis looking. Lewis throwing. It is caught at about the 40-yard line. On the catch, that is Jerish Halsey. Lewis is under center. Gives it to Wilkerson. He has stood up in the backfield. First guy to get there. B.J. Davis cleaned it up. Wilkerson to the right, and you got to expect it. And Wilkerson goes right up the middle. Godboat has him. Wilkerson pulls away from Godboat and gets the first down. 4-down lineman for the Bulldogs. Shotgun snap. Lewis rolling to his right. Here comes Jablonski. He knocks it up in the air. Jablonski Green, and it's it's received by the quarterback, Jared Lewis. Dyson Roberts hits one. Is a pretty good punt back at the 45-yard line. Here comes Peeler at the 50, at the 45, Peeler at the 35-30. Peeler's got one man to beat. Peeler is going to go all the way. Delaware State, touchdown, Delaware State. His toe is in it. It is up, and it is good. So we've got a ball game with 8 minutes and 19 seconds to go in the third quarter. South Carolina State 13, Delaware State 7. Shotgun formation for Corey Fields. There's the snap. Play action fake. Fields looking long. Got him in out there. Tequel Holmes makes the catch. What a diving catch for Tequel Holmes all the way up at the 38-yard line of Delaware State. 2 receivers to the right. That's it. They got a tight end in the game. Shotgun formation. Tim Ewing coming on the blitz. There's a man open. Wilkins, this is Lewis trying to get outside. Lewis throws it out there. It is caught. What a catch.
Unbelievable.
Benjamin with the catch. Fields from the shotgun. Looking back to pass. Fields throws it out there. Has a man caught. First down, Wolverine. Wolverine went backwards and ran out of the first down. Single setback is Wilkinson. He's under center is Lewis. They give it to Wilkinson. He's wrapped up and right. Jablonski. My goodness, have we said that name enough? That's a 3-yard loss in the backfield with a quarter left to play. South Carolina State leading Delaware State 13-7. Shotgun formation for Lewis. Back to pass Lewis. Lewis looking. Lewis throwing long. Got a man out there. It is caught. Devin Curry at the 35 of South Carolina State. And back to pass Lewis. Lewis. Plenty of time. Lewis looking. Lewis is in trouble. Lewis steps up. Lewis is wrapped up. Slung down. Sacked. South Carolina State, Octavia Mentor. Shotgun formation, Lewis. Back to pass. Here comes pressure. Lewis throwing it out there. Jacoby Durant is out of bounds.
Way out of bounds.
What coverage by Jacoby Durant. The quarterback, Jared Lewis, looks to be Ing. Play action fake. Lewis trying to get outside. Lewis missed a tackle. They got Ing wide open on the little wheel, and he dropped it. Ing on the wheel route was wide open.
What a break.
He probably would have gone to the house, and he dropped it. Back to pass is Corey. Going long. Got a man out there. Richard Bailey catches it at the first down marker right at the 36. 5 yards past the first down marker. Second down and 6. Shotgun snap. Corey throws it out in the flat. Wolverine. Will needs a block. Got close to that first down marker. Got stopped a yard shy at the 41-yard line. Fields at quarterback. Shotgun snap. Fields throws it out there. It is caught. Wolverine first down at the 38-yard line of Delaware State. 2 seconds. He snaps it. Play action fake. Corey's got to throw it. Going long. Got Shaq Davis out there. And a little bump in a pass interference call against Delaware State. The push. Shaq went down. Looked like Steph Curry, but I'll take it. So South Carolina State takes a knee with 2:07 to go. And they take another knee. Corey Fields does. There's another loss back to the 41-yard line. Lewis, here we go. Ball game's on the line. Lewis has a man out there. That's Collie at the 25-yard line. Collie pitches, well, was going to pitch, stops at the 40-yard line. He's out to the 40-yard line. Jared Lewis back to pass. Lewis not looking long. Throws it flat. Is tossed, and they're throwing it back to Lewis. And Lewis is wrapped up, brought down. Patrick Godbout tackles him. And that is the end of the game. South Carolina State survives Delaware State. 13 for the Bulldogs, 7 for Delaware State. All right, second half, Coach. Delaware State will begin with possession, but let me go back to the tail end of the first half when we start talking about you being able to keep Delaware State out of the end zone, no points in the red zone, and that let go into the second half.
Yeah, we ended up doing a little. We had to ice the kick a little bit right at the end of the half because they, were getting ready to kick a field goal, and I wanted to try to make sure. I kind of remember the last time we were here, and we kind of moved them a little bit. It worked for us, and then we go into the halftime up 13-0, which was big.
And so South Carolina State, again, you're thinking that 13 points is not going to be enough because Delaware State eventually got on the board in the third quarter with a huge 55-yard punt return by Charles Peeler.
But you know what? Our defense was still up to the task, and they didn't give up a score. It was just that we gave up a score in special teams, but I can tell you one thing, and that is that I'm really getting confident in our defense and looking forward to seeing, how we can get the rest of our team to match up to those guys.
You're talking about the defense, Coach, and in the second half, you could see the pressure on Delaware State. They had a couple situations where they were just a catch away from making some plays, but our defense still didn't flinch.
They had a play where they leaked the back out of the backfield and had the guy wide open. The guy dropped it, thank goodness. And then Savion Wilkinson had about 102 yards at the half. And at that point, I think he thought that he was going to run roughshod over us. I think he had maybe 102 yards at about the end of the game, 114, I think, at the end of the game. So we finished him off in the second half.
You finished him off a little better than that because I don't even think he ended up with 100 yards because he lost 20 in the second half.
Did he really?
So from that standpoint, he really had a tough time. But again, your defense really set the tone. At the end of the football game was one of the most unusual things I think I've seen in quite some time. Delaware State, for whatever reason, and they did it in the first half, Coach, they ran out of timeouts. They kind of had to use some timeouts because they had some situations where they had to call a timeout. That left them short with about 1:48 to go. You've got the football first down, and you said, look, we're going to sit on the football.
Exactly. At that point, we thought that we'd have to, maybe get to the last of the game with them with no timeout. So we just kind of figured that we were better off going that direction as opposed to taking a chance and messing up for our defense as great as they had played for the rest of the game.
Well, I tell you what, the defense carried the team on Saturday. That's why the Bulldogs come away with a big 13-7 win over Delaware State. We will take a timeout. We'll have a final word and tell you what's up next for your South Carolina State Bulldogs on this edition of the Buddy Pough Show. All right, Coach, this week the Bulldogs on the road again. Head to Durham, North Carolina Central to take on the Eagles. A big winner this past weekend over Howard at Howard's homecoming.
It was actually Morgan at Morgan's homecoming.
I'm sorry, Morgan's
exactly, because and at this point right now, it's us, Central, and Norfolk State, because Norfolk beat Howard at Howard for their homecoming. So we get a chance to get into the rest of the league. Now we're 2-0. You know, we got to go up this week and play at Central. That's always a tough place to play. Coach Trey Oliver and his crew, I'm sure, are really looking forward to seeing us up there at their place. So it'll be a tough game for us.
You know, when you start talking about the things that you want to work on, Coach, what do you will take from this football game as you're able to do against Morgan State? Change the complex of the team, because the penalties cut down. You guys did some work this past week heading into this game. What do you do for next week?
I really feel good about the mental part of the game with our football team this past week. Now, we've got to get to the point now where we can figure out how to get our offense going again. It was ugly on that part where they had so many opportunities and didn't get a chance to really take advantage of them. So at this point, we've got to go back to the drawing board and make sure we understand exactly what we can do to be more effective offensively.
All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Buddy Pough Show. Bulldogs get the big win over Delaware State 13-7. Folks, we hope to see you this week up in Durham, North Carolina, when the Bulldogs take on the North Carolina Central Eagles. And next week, right here on Bally Sports on the Buddy Pough Show.
Thank you for watching the Buddy Pough Show, featuring highlights of the South Carolina State Bulldogs. The show has been brought to you by Prisma Health, the South Carolina Education Lottery, the County of Orangeburg, Farm Bureau Insurance, Founders Federal Credit Union, and by the Department of Health and Environmental Control. Join us next week for highlights of South Carolina State football on the Buddy Pough Show.